direct variation between two variables x and y, or two quantities x and y, is such that an increase in one will cause an increase in the other, and a decrease in one will cause a decrease in the other. That is, in case of direct variation, as x increases, y also increases, and as x decreases, y also decreases. Okay. In case of inverse variation, and what was the relation there for direct variation? As I told you, that x by y was a constant, right? Which we also write as x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2, right? This was the relation for your direct variation. Okay. Now, what about inverse variation? In case of inverse variation, you will have xy is equal to constant. Okay. So we write the definition: two quantities x and y are said to be in inverse variation if xy is a constant. Okay. Or we also write this as x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2 in this case. Okay. So there x1 by y1 was equal to x2 by y2. In this case, we have x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2. Or the alternative definition, as I told you, is two quantities x and y are said to be in inverse variation if an increase in one causes a decrease in the other. Or a decrease in one causes an increase in the other. Right? What can be a real life example for this? For inverse variation?
Excuse me, sir, the screen is getting black every time.
Yes, I know. Okay, what is the, what can be an example of inverse variation? For inverse variation, the example can be, let's say an example from physics or chemistry. Pressure and volume of a gas. If you increase the pressure of a gas, the volume decreases, right? Isn't it? If you're increasing the pressure in a gas, the volume will decrease, right? This was a science example. Let us come to more common examples. Let us say if I define x be the number of students, and y be the quantity of food consumed. Then what is this? Is this a direct variation or an inverse variation? Can you tell me whether this is a direct variation or inverse variation?
It is direct, sir.
It is a direct variation. Okay, so here x and y are in Direct variation. Why direct variation? Because
So because if student increases, the food will also increase.
the quantity of food consumed will also increase, right? Now, another example can be let X be the time taken to cover a certain distance and Y be the speed of a train. Then are X and Y in
Good
direct or
morning,
inverse
sir.
variation?
So
X and
inverse.
Y.
Good morning, sir.
Here X and Y are in inverse variation. Why inverse variation? Because as the speed of the train increases, the time taken decreases, right? So here X and Y are said to be in inverse variation. Okay. 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 If I now say let X be the number of laborers and Y be the number of days taken to complete a work. Then are X and Y in direct or inverse variation?
So inverse.
Inverse variation, because as you increase the number of laborers, the number of days taken to complete a certain task or work will obviously get reduced. So if you increase X, Y will decrease. So here X and Y are in inverse variation. Okay. So that is what. So let us take a sum to understand this better. Problem is 8 pipes can fill a tank in 2 hours. How long will 5 pipes take to fill the same tank? Very simple example. Okay. So now in this case, what you do here is, first of all, you take hours, okay, and number of pipes. Let us take hours as X and number of pipes as Y. You can take hours as X also, hours as Y also, and number of pipes as X also, no problem. Okay, so now we write one corresponding to the other. 8 tank can fill 8 pipes. Sorry, did not I've written 8 tanks. It should be 8 pipes. Eight pipes can fill a tank in 2 hours. How long will 5 pipes take to fill the tank? So 8 pipes can fill a tank in 2 hours, right? So 5 pipes will take how much time? Let us call this as Y2. I can take this as X1. I can take this as Y1. I can take this as X2 and this as Y2. Okay. So in this case, how long will it take to fill the tank? First of all, you determine whether X and Y are in direct or inverse variation. 8 hours for 2 pipes. Then 5 hours for how many pipes? More than 2 pipes or less than 2 pipes? See, 8 is decreasing. Here it is decreasing from 8 hours to 5 hours. So from here, it should be decrease. It should decrease or increase. Number of pipes.
We should increase. Number of pipes we should increase.
Number of pipes should increase because now,
Yes, sir.
because you are reducing the number of hours, so you need more pipes to fill. So from 2 hours, this
Yes,
should be
sir.
an increase, right? So what can you say? Here
Yes,
X and
sir.
Y are in. Here X and Y are in inverse variation, right? So therefore, what can you say? X1, Y1 must be equal to X2, Y2. Now from here you can find out, just put the values. X1 is 8, Y1 is 2, X2 is 5, and you need to find out Y2. So that means 5 into Y2 is equal to 8 into 2. Now divide both sides by 5. Get 8 into 2 divided by 5, which is equal to 16 by 5. Okay. Because I have not written this in, this is given in hours. So if you convert it to minutes, you will get a better answer. Okay. So 5 hours . 8 pipes are filling the tank in 2 hours. So you better convert this to minutes. That will give you, in this case, you will get a better answer. Okay. So what you do here is 2 hours is there. This is Y2 definitely, which we need to find out. So this is okay. 2 hours means 120 minutes, right? So now this will be 8 into 120. Okay, so this now you can cancel here. You can work with hours also, no problem. But the point here is that if you work in minutes, this 5 will cancel you. So this you will get as 192. Okay, so 120 pipes required for, so 120 for in 8 hours, 120 pipes are required to fill. In 5 hours, you need more pipes. How many pipes you need? You need 192 pipes. Okay. So we move on to the next problem. Look at 2 part 1 and 2 part 2. Observe the following tables and find which pair of variables, here X and Y, are in inverse variation. So 2 part 1, this table is given to you. This table is given to you. Okay, now can you tell me whether this is direct variation or inverse variation? How to check whether this X and Y are in direct variation or inverse variation? Take this as X1 take this as y1. Take this as x2. Take this as y2. x3, y3. x4, y4. Take this as x5. Take this as y5. Now check. What will you check? Multiply x1, y1. How much are you getting? 900. x2, y2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're getting 900. x3, y3. (45 into 20). Again, you're getting 900. x4, y4. 30 into 30. Again, you're getting 900. x5, y5. 20 into 45. So again 900. So here x1, y1 is equal to x2, y2 is equal to x3, y3 is equal to x4, y4 is equal to x5, y5. So what do we say? Hence x and y are in what?
Inverse variation,
Inverse
sir.
variation. Hence x and y are in inverse variation. Okay. Let's do part 2.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, I am not able to understand this inverse variation.
No, that is not a question. Yes, you can hear me or not?
Yes, sir.
No, that is not a question that you are asking. After 20 minutes of classes, you are saying you're not able to understand inverse variation. You ask your question should be
Sir,
specific.
I tried in the beginning, but I was not able to join. After 20 minutes,
Then you
too
go
late
through
I
the
joined,
video.
sir.
This is not a question. After 20 minutes of classes, you cannot say I'm not able to understand inverse variation. Then you go through the video and you see what examples I'm doing. Try to understand from that. Still, if you're not able to understand, then you go through the video and the solved example from the book.
Okay, sir.
After 20 minutes of classes, your question should be more specific. Okay. So this is since x1, y1 is equal to x2, y2 is equal to x3, y3 is equal to x4, y4 is equal to x5, y5. Therefore, x and y are said to be in direct variation, inverse variation. Sorry. Let us look at the second question from question number 2. The second part of the question. Here, this is the table that is given.
Oh, sir, for direct variation also we'll get something like this.
See, it will not be given whether x and y are in direct. You have to determine whether they are in direct variation or inverse variation. And then you will have to work accordingly.
Okay, sir.
First, you will have to see whether
Okay, sir.
two quantities are in direct or indirect variation, or and then you will have to work accordingly. For example, if I give you
Okay, sir.
a problem relating to speed of the train and distance covered, then obviously you will know that it is inverse variation, right? Because as you increase the speed, time will decrease, right? But
Yes, sir.
for example, if I give you a problem on cost of sugar and quantity of sugar, then by common sense you must know that if you increase the quantity of sugar, the cost of sugar must also go up. So therefore that is a problem of direct variation. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now here you need to check whether these two are in direct or inverse variation. Okay. So let's check here. Multiply x1, y1. Call this as x1. This as y1. This as x2. This as y2. This as x3. This as y3. x4, y4, and this as x5, and this as y5. Multiply. 75 into 10 will give you 750. Okay. 45 into 30 will give you Okay. Once you see that x1, y1 not equal to x2, y2, you don't have to check for the other. That means here x and y are not in inverse variation. Not in inverse variation, right? Now we need to check whether they are in direct variation or not. How do you check? Find out x1 by y1. You get 75 by 10, which is 7.5, right? Next, find out x2 by y2. So this is 45 by 30, which you can cancel now.
So 5 nines are 5 6 are.
Cancel 15. You get 1.5. You see that x1, y1 is not equal to x2, y2. So what do you say? Here x and y are also not in direct variation. Then what are they? If they are not in inverse, if they are not in direct, you don't know what it is. Okay. And there just maybe some random data that is given to you. So you say hence x and y are neither in direct or inverse variation. Clear with how to check whether it is inverse or direct variation? Yes, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay, now we'll move on to more specific problems. These were more general problems. Okay, look at question number 5 here. Okay. The question reads, Pooja has enough money to buy 36 oranges at the rate of 4.5 per orange. How many oranges can she buy if the price of each orange is increased by 90 paisa? Okay. So what you do is, what are the variables here? What is the variable here? Price per orange.
So price per orange and the number of oranges.
Yes, and number of oranges. Let us consider this as y. Okay. Now place whatever is given here. Pooja has enough money to buy 36 oranges at the rate of 4.5. So at the rate of 4.5, she is buying 36 oranges. Right? Now, how many oranges can she buy if the price of each orange is increased by 90 paisa? What do you mean by increased by 90 paisa? 4.5 plus 9, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Which is equal to 5.4. So now the new price is 5.4. So how many oranges can you buy? Let us say y2. Okay. So now you consider this as your x1, this as your y1, this as your x2, and this as your y2. Okay. Now see, for 4.5, you are buying 36 oranges. For 5.4, if the price of the oranges is increased, your budget is the same. So will you be able to buy less oranges or more oranges?
Sir, less
So
orange.
less oranges.
Less oranges. That means as you are increasing the price from 4.5 to 5.4, this is decreasing, isn't it? So here x and y
Yes, sir.
are in inverse variation. Okay, so therefore x1 y1 must be equal to x2 y2. Now you can put the values and find it out. So x1 is 4.5, y1 is 36, is equal to x2 5.4
30 oranges.
to y2. So you get 5.4 into y2 is equal to 4.5 into 36 divided by 5. This is in the next step we'll be doing this. So that means y2 is 4.5 into 36 divided by 5.4. How do you calculate this? Shift one decimal in the numerator. And because you shifted one decimal in the numerator, you shift one decimal in the denominator also. Okay, now you can cancel. You can cancel with 6. And then you can cancel with 5. So you get 30. So initially you were buying 36 oranges. Now how much are you buying? Only 30. Right?
Yes, sir.
That is the most simple example that you can come across. Yes.
So if the number of oranges increases
Mm.
and the price decreases, it would be a direct variation. Yes, am I right?
See, normally the relation between price and quantity is an inverse variation. Because see, if you increase the price, obviously you will not be able to buy as much, right? Your income is the same. If you are for 100 rupees, say you go to the market and if you want to buy oranges, right? And if one orange costs you 20 rupees today, but then later on, after 2 days, you go to the same market with the same 100 rupees, and the price of orange say increases from 20 rupees, which you bought 2 days earlier. Now the price, the 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 vendor tells you that the new price is 25 rupees. You will be able to buy more or less.
Sir, less, sir.
Less, obviously. So that is why normally the relation between price and the number of oranges is an inverse variation. It is never a direct variation because the budget is the same. Okay. Now if you increase the budget, say from 100 rupees, now you have 200 rupees. That is a different story altogether. But we assume in all the problem that your budget is the same. Okay. Okay, let's see the next question here. The next question here, let's say number 9. Okay, if you read the question, it states a batch of bottles were packed in 30 boxes with 10 bottles in each box. If the batch is packed using 12 bottles in each box, how many boxes would be filled? Okay, so what are the two variables here?
The boxes and bottles.
Boxes, or let's say number of boxes. Say X, and number of bottles. Okay, now if you read the question here once again, batch of bottles were packed in 30 boxes with 10 bottles in each box. Okay, so 10 bottles in each box. Number of bottles, let's say per box. Is Y. Okay, so 30 boxes, okay, and 10 bottles per box, right? If the same batch is packed using 12 bottles in each box, 12 bottles in each box, let us call this X2. How many boxes would be filled? How many boxes would be? Now you have to find X2 here. First of all, we determine whether these two quantities are in direct or inverse variation. 30 boxes required for 10 bottles, right? 10 bottles, number of bottles per box is 10. So now if you have 12 bottles per box, so you are cramping in more bottles in the box. So will you require more boxes or less boxes?
So
Less
less.
boxes.
You are increasing the number of bottles from 10 to 12 in the box. Then obviously you'll require less boxes, right? So this is from 10 to 12, this is becoming more. And here this is becoming less. So here what do we say? Here X and Y are in inverse variation. Therefore, X1 by 1 is equal to X2 by 2. That means put the values here. You call this as your X1, this as your Y1, this as your Y2. So this is 30 into 10 is equal to X2 into 12. So 12X2 is equal to 30 into 10, which is equal to X2 is equal to 30 into 10 by 12. Okay. So now we cancel. So how many boxes required now? Because you are cramping in more bottles in one box, you'll require less boxes. How many boxes less you are requiring? From 30, it has become 25. Now I'll require only 25 boxes. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I'll stop here.